25 Best PSP Racing Games. Number 25, MX vs ATV Unleashed On The Edge. At its heart, On The Edge is a dirt racer with motocross bikes and ATV quad racers tearing around supercross tracks and outdoor courses. Those who are desperate for off-road action on the PSP will get just that with On The Edge, provided they've got the passion to deal with its flaws. Number 24, Ridge Racer 2. Considering that the main draw of this game is all new content, the one element that brings this release down is the lack of new content. Overall, Ridge Racer 2 doesn't really feel like a worthy addition, but if you haven't played the first Ridge Racer, it's a great addition to your collection. Number 23, F1 2009. F1 2009 is a fun, accessible take on Formula 1 racing, but its arcade style and unrealistic physics means it's something of a false start for the new series. If you're looking for an arcade-style sim racer with a Formula 1 badge, then F1 2009 may fit the bill and is likely to keep you busy for quite some time. Number 22, Need for Speed Carbon on the City. There's already a ton of accomplished racing games on the PSP, but the core driving in Need for Speed Carbon on the City is solid enough. All in all, On the City is a very different game from the console versions of Need for Speed Carbon, but it's still an exciting racer in its own right. Number 21, ModNation Racers. With a host of content and customization tools for carts, tracks, and players, this game succeeds admirably. All in all, ModNation Racers is a fun kart racer that brings plenty of its own gameplay ideas to the mix, with a plenty of depth to the racing and long and varied career mode. Number 20, GripShift. With this game, everything moves at a solid 30 FPS, with no slowdown apparent, and the basic track environments have a neat look to them. For as bad as the driving mechanics in GripShift are, big-time puzzle fans and those who really enjoy the notion of a track editor will at least get something out of the game. Number 19, TOCA Race Driver 3 Challenge. Codemasters TOCA Race Driver series has always been about two things: solid simulation-based driving and an insane amount of racing variety. All in all, TOCA 3 boasts an awesome variety of racing disciplines, and it backs that boast up with some excellent driving mechanics. Number 18, Sega Rally Revo. This version of the game does have the dynamic track deformation that the console versions did, though not to quite the same degree. Overall, the wonky car physics and controls, as well as a general lack of challenge, prevent Sega Rally Revo from being a very interesting title for very long, but it's still an interesting racing game. Number 17, Need for Speed Most Wanted 510. This game is, at its core, a basic street racer with all the usual toppings. Overall, Need for Speed Most Wanted 510 has most of what's needed to make a good PSP racing game, but it lacks the biggest one of all, a true excitement. Number 16. Burnout Dominator. Burnout Dominator isn't a proper sequel for the series. It takes bits and pieces of the driving mechanics and features from the past Burnout games and brings them together in a new way. Burnout Dominator is more impressive on the PSP, and you'll have a distinct impression that this game was designed for the system. Number 15. FlatOut Head-On. What FlatOut lacks in refinement, it makes up for with a twisted sense of humor, an assortment of game modes, and some frankly outrageous stunts. Overall, FlatOut is a fantastic PSP game, offering a mix of racing modes that are great to play in short bursts or long sessions. Number 14. Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. Midnight Club 3 is an arcade racer through and through, with the physics geared toward big jumps, taking tight corners at ridiculous speeds, big exaggerated crashes, and frenetic action. While PSP owning street fans will likely find Midnight Club 3 to be a genuinely enjoyable game, there's no denying that it feels like a missed opportunity overall. Number 13. Gran Turismo, the real driving simulator. The first handheld iteration of the real driving simulator isn't as fully featured as some of its predecessors. However, while it lacks a number of the features that the series was built on, Gran Turismo still has a lot to offer to anyone who's ever dreamed of taking a supercar for a test drive. Number 12. Need for Speed Underground Rivals. Just like its predecessor, Need for Speed Underground Rivals has done a good job of capturing the thrill of late-night illegal street races while including all of the parts and customization. Fans of the Need for Speed Underground series will feel right at home with Rivals. Number 11. ATV Offroad Fury Pro. ATV Offroad Fury Pro dramatically ups the ante in terms of content compared to its predecessor. Simply put, there is an awful lot to do in ATV Offroad Fury Pro, and much of it is a good time. Overall, this game provides so much value that you'll be hard-pressed to find a better game than this off-road racing game. Number 10. TOCA Race Driver 2, the ultimate racing simulator. This game has a few annoying quirks though. For one, it seems to rely on a finer level of throttle and brake control than the PSP can provide with only its analog and buttons. But overall, you'll come to love TOCA Race Driver 2 as much as your first race sim if you're a hardcore racing game fan. Number 9. Midnight Club LA Remix. Midnight Club LA Remix is a surprisingly dense PSP game, packed to the brim with hours of intensely fast racing as well as addictive aesthetic and performance upgrades. Almost as much an RPG as it is a racer, Midnight Club LA Remix would be a great addition to any petrolhead's portable library. Number 8. Test Drive Unlimited. As the game starts, you're whisked away to fabulous Hawaii to buy a car and a house and do a lot of random racing. That's about all there is to the premise. This PSP version of Test Drive Unlimited crams in just about every online feature found in the PS2 version, and it does so without mucking up the experience.
Turn left.
Number 7. Race Driver 2006. Ridge Driver 2006, despite its largely recycled career mode, it feels like a mostly new game, thanks to the addition of an all-new single-player mode, some new cars and tracks. This title may be a port of a nearly 2-year-old game, but the wealth of new content makes this version every bit as necessary as its predecessor. Number 6. MotorStorm Arctic Age. Arctic Age may be portable, but it otherwise encapsulates all the pros and cons of this series' fast-paced off-road racing. Each course is meticulously crafted, offering an ideal path to the finish line, no matter which of its vehicles you prefer. All in all, MotorStorm Arctic Age provides plenty of boisterous fun. Number 5. OutRun 2006 Coast to Coast. This game doesn't stray very far at all from the formula established by OutRun 2, offering gameplay that largely feels the same as the previous game, but with a good deal more content to explore and unlock. OutRun 2006 Coast to Coast offers a fun, accessible experience to racing fans who just want to jam on the accelerator and go. Number 4. Wipeout Pulse. Wipeout Pulse is the follow-up to Wipeout Pure, which arrived in 2005. The soundtrack boasts the usual mix of electronic dance from established artists such as Aphex Twin and Mason, all licensed and of a high quality. Overall, Wipeout Pulse offers a deep and rewarding career mode while pushing the technical capabilities of the PSP. Number 3. Burnout Legends. Burnout Legends is like something of a greatest hits collection, combining gameplay elements with cars and tracks from the first 3 console Burnout games to form a package that feels pretty original and unique. In short, this title is one of the best racers the PSP has to offer, and any PSP owner should definitely check it out. Number 2. Wipeout Pure. Wipeout Pure is a distillation of all the wipeouts that precede it, highlighting the traits that earned the series its fanbase and straining out the impurities that have crept in over the years. On paper, Wipeout Pure doesn't really sound like anything special, but it comes together beautifully in the execution, especially with regards to the presentation. Number 1. Ridge Racer. While the gameplay in Ridge Racer is certainly no slouch, the real treat to the Ridge Racer on the PSP is how it looks. This game is the smoothest running PSP game on the block at launch. All in all, Ridge Racer does a fine job providing the same smooth gameplay that still holds up after all these years.
Up your ride, issy. I worked the engine with a new air intake, turbo.